Hi, good
Hello.
morning, teacher.
Good morning. How are you, Rocio?
Very well. And you?
So far, so good. Has been your week?
A little tired. I think yesterday and the late class yesterday I can come to the class because I feel very sleepy because I went went to the go went to the bed very late today too, but I need to see the class and the evaluation for the weekend.
Yeah, sure. No problem. Today, I can give you some examples if you want, so you can feel a little bit more ready for that.
Okay, thank you, teacher.
Very good. Hello, Robert. How are you?
Hello, good morning. I'm fine. And you? How are you?
I'm great. Are you ready for the weekend?
Yeah, finally.
Yeah. Do you have any plans, guys, for the weekend?
Yes. In my case, I will go out with my friends. I will dinner and go to the cinema.
Uh-huh. I cannot hear you anymore.
Only that. Go
Ah,
to the,
okay.
to the
I
take
I
a
thought I
dinner
thought you will say more. I'm sorry.
in the cinema.
Ah, any movie in special?
I think my friends want to see Fast and Furious, and I try to convince they to see Guardians of Galaxy, but they already see, so I will
Ah,
see Fast and Furious.
how many Fast and Furious do we have now?
Too
I
much.
I I
Like
lost,
20.
yeah, I lost the count when they had seven or something. So how
Yeah,
many?
when Paul Walker died, I don't see anymore. I think
Ah,
7 or 8.
I'm not sure. I think that there are like 20, right? I don't know. But
Yeah,
good.
It
Okay.
feels like 20.
Yeah, but is it 20? No, right? It's less, like 11 maybe?
I have no idea.
Yeah, me neither. But
The, I guess the only one that I saw was the first one.
ah, okay. You are you are not losing a lot of details. I mean, all of the movies are kind of the same. Something that I kind of like and is kind of funny is that they can drive basically everything, since motorcycles, car, buses, everything. It's curious. I mean, it's pretty nice, but I think that too many movies about something is too much. But anyway, so who else? What are your plans for the weekend, guys? Besides the sleeping, what else do you plan to do?
Well, actually, I don't have anything special. Well, just chilling.
And prepare the speaking evaluation, right?
I, I'm I'm on it. Actually, I hope to finish by today.
Ah, excellent. That's the attitude. All right. And how about you, Paola and Jose? Do you have any plans for the weekend?
Well, I want to go to shopping. I have
Ah,
a little list. I want to shop.
sounds good. Sounds good.
Yeah, and I forgot the homework that the speaking evaluation.
All right. Well, you can do the speaking evaluation today and you will be free to go shopping tomorrow. That's great.
Yeah, I think.
That was my
And
idea.
yeah, guys, do it. Jose, how about you? Any plans for the weekend?
Hi, good morning. I don't have plans. I think only sleeping.
Only sleep, okay. And the speaking
Eh,
evaluation, right?
yes, yes.
Okay,
I'm
very
working on it. Yes.
Excellent, very good. So if you see, guys, I don't know if you have compared your scores, but in the second evaluation, most of you improve your score. So that's great. Something that I liked is that in the second evaluation, some of you didn't have the same mistakes. So you are improving on that area too. Some people got 3 or 2 in fluency in the first one, and in the second one they already have 4 or even 5. So you are doing great. So for the third speaking evaluation, I'm pretty sure that you are going to do it even better. Okay, so I want to see a lot of 10 in the scores. Okay, so do your best. You are doing already a great job, so keep going. Now, uh, let's see. Do you want me to explain the speaking evaluation again and give examples? Yes?
Yes, please, teacher.
Okay, I'm going to do it right now. This is a speaking evaluation. So the idea is to combine passive voice with the adjectives that we have been studying during this week, the adjectives ending in ed and in ing. So I want you to pretend that you are a journalist, okay? And you want to present some news. Imagine that you work for CNN or for El Noticiero El Salvador, or I don't know, any kind of news channel. So here is optional. You can present and talk about only one news or more. Okay, I know that is 5 minutes. So if you talk like about more news, it will be easier for you because you don't have to give so many details, so you can change and there's no problem. But that is up to you. If you want to talk only about one news, perfect, no problem. Now, what you have to do, you have to present news and you can decide. It can be about sports, about nationals or international news. It can be about gossips, famous people, science, weather, the ones that you prefer, okay? The idea is that when you are presenting the news, you need to use passive voice. Now, I'm not asking that all of the sentences must be in the passive voice. It's not necessary. I mean, you can combine passive and active, but try to include as many as possible. Okay, so you will talk for 5 minutes. And if you I mean, imagine that you say only one sentence in passive voice. Do you think that is that enough? Uh-huh. Not really, right? Imagine only one sentence? No. So try to include as many as possible. So you are presenting the news, and when you are talking, include adjectives ending in ed to describe feelings and ing adjectives to describe characteristics. Okay? And here I got an example. Imagine I want to pretend that I work from some news channels here in El Salvador. And I can start my audio like this. So in our national news, police officers were called to Banco Agrícola. Oh, my goodness, it's cold. I'm sorry, this is my bad. ED. So let me fix it. I'm sorry, my bad. It has to be in past participle. So, in our national news, police officers were called to Banco Agrícola yesterday. $1 million were stolen, but thanks God, no one was hurt. But employees were shocked and horrified. Doubtless, this is a frightening situation, and manager is totally confused and worried because he doesn't know how it's possible that the thieves entered to the bank and da 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 da. And you continue talking. Now, imagine in this case, if the news is not so long, right? This can be one news. Then you can change and say, now talking about weather. And you can start with the second news. Now, talking about weather, you know, Puerto Rico was hit by a hurricane. And now there are a lot of people and ta 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 ta. And you continue talking. If you see in the first example, not all the sentences were in the passive voice, just some of them. So we can combine. Important details that I'm going to evaluate. Be careful with the pronunciation of the ed adjectives. Okay, remember we cannot say choquel, embarrassed, not really, right? So shocked, embarrassed. So practice the pronunciation because we need to give a good pronunciation on that on those adjectives. So at the end, if you want to talk about another news because you still have time, okay, change it. And now changing to the sports news and ta 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 ta. Okay, so that is basically what you have to do. Is it clear? Yes.
Yes.
Yes, teacher.
Yes.
Okay, great. Now, the news can be real or fiction. Okay, there's no problem at all. I mean, I'm not asking that it has to be proved that it's real. Nah, it can be fiction too. Okay, no problem. Now, just remember you will have until Saturday, not Sunday, Saturday at 11 a.m. Okay, try to send it on time, please, so I can have enough time to check your scores. Because if you send it after the day, the due date, for me is harder to complete checking all of them. Now, questions about the speaking evaluation? Yes, no, is it clear?
Clear.
Okay,
Yes, it's clear.
excellent. Okay, do your best, okay? If you have any question, sorry, you can write it in the group and I will try to explain you a little bit better or giving you more examples. Now, let me share the presentation for today. Can you see it?
Yes.
Yes? Okay, so today is May 19th. This is our 13th class. And just a reminder, guys, remember on weekend, I'm going to check your advance on the platform. How much is the percentage that you need to have? Do you remember?
35.
It's
75.
75, yes. Remember, we are ending the week number 3, so 75%. And by the end of the next week, you already had to be done, okay? So that's a reminder, be careful with the platform. Don't leave it as the last moment to work on it. Now we are going to see a new topic, okay? We are going to see modals. Do you remember the modal verbs? Yes, a little bit, some of them.
A little bit, but
A
yes.
little bit.
How many modal verbs do we have? A lot.
For example,
Uh-huh.
yes, must,
We have
you should,
must. Uh-huh. Can, yes. What else?
Cool.
Uh-huh. Could, may, might. So there are different modal verbs, right? We are not going to study all of them today because the time is not enough. So we are going to check must, need to, have to, ought to, had better, or had better not, and should or should not. Okay? What is one of the characteristic of the modals. If you see, we need to identify here the difference because must, ought to, and should, they are in the category of modals. Now, need to, have to, had better to, they are more like simple verbs, but because of their function, they are considered in the category of modals too. But they don't follow like the same rules. For example, if I use must in third person, do I need changes? For example, imagine if I say, you must be responsible, okay? What happens if I'm talking in third person? Do I need changes? She must or she must works? What do you think? Do I need to add letter S?
No,
Not
the
really.
models are stay normal with no S.
Exactly. So that is one of the characteristic of the models. They doesn't change if you are talking in third person. But what happens if I use need? Ah, you need to study. So if I'm talking in third person, she, do I need changes here? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes.
In this case, I do need to add the letter S. She needs. Okay? So in these scenarios, these type of verbs, they need changes if they are talking in third person or not. Another example, must. If I want to say a sentence in negative, how can I do that?
It could be must not.
Exactly. So for example, you must not um, go to sleep at work, of course. Okay, so look, I got it in negative. If I have a modal and I want to say it in negative, you just need to add the word not. But again, what happens if I'm using have to or need to? How can I say that? Imagine I will use have to. You have to sleep at work. How can I say this sentence in negative using have to? Do I need to add only the word not?
You have to add the auxiliary do.
Very good. In this case, you need the auxiliary. So we are in simple present, so you don't have to. So those are the differences, okay? So please don't get confused. They are considered in the category of modals because of their function, but they don't follow the same grammar rules. Now, we are going to see what their function is in different scenarios. Let's start with must and have to. Must and have to, they are very similar in some aspects. First of all, if you are talking about obligations or rules, you will use must or have to. For example, I have to work on Saturday. So this sentence, if you use have to, it's indicating that this action is an obligation. Okay? Volunteer for reading the second example, please.
You must wear a seatbelt when driving.
Thank you. Look, it's optional to use to wear a seatbelt. It's optional.
No.
It's an advice. If you use must, not really. This is what the police officer says. Hey, you must wear a seatbelt. If you don't do it, you will get a fine. So the last one, volunteer for reading the next example.
She has to wake up early tomorrow.
Very good. Here we have an example in third person. Look. Has to. Can you tell me an obligation that you have for today? You can use must or have to.
We must complete the Aplaudos performance review today.
Okay, cool. What else? Another obligation that you have for today?
I have to assist a meeting to a meeting.
Okay, you have to attend to the meeting?
Okay.
All right. Who else? What
I
other
have
another?
to. I have to attend to university at the afternoon today.
In the afternoon.
Okay, in the afternoon.
All right. So you see, those are obligations. That means that it's not like optional if you want to. No, it's your obligation. So in this case, if it is obligations, can I use should? What do you think?
No.
No. Okay. Now, we can also use must or have to when we are talking about certainty. When you are like pretty sure about something. For example, imagine my phone must be in your car. I left it there. So in this scenario, it sounds like you are pretty sure that you left the cell phone in the car. Or you can say, hey, she must study a lot because she always gets 10 in the exam. So you are like pretty sure about it. A volunteer for reading the second example, please.
My phone must be in your car. I left it there.
Thank you. Can you read the next one?
Me?
Yes.
Huh? He has to be the one. I am sure of it.
Thank you. Look, third person. So in this case, we are not talking about obligations. We are not talking about rules. We are just mention some certainty scenarios. Okay. Or when I say, you must be tired because you look like sleepy. So certainty. So is it clear, everyone, the two scenarios where I can use must and have to? Yes? Clear or not clear?
Here.
Clear.
Okay, let's see if it is true. Now, we can also use these ones in negative, mustn't or don't have to, but the meaning is going to change. But if you use must not or mustn't, what is the function? Volunteer for reading the concept?
Use mustn't when you mean that it's important not to do something.
Very good. So if you're going to use it in negative, that means there is an obligation that you don't do a certain activity. For example, you mustn't forget about the speaking test. So that is like an obligation. That is something important that you don't forget it. Or imagine the second example. You mustn't drive too fast. It's important that you don't do that action. On the other hand, if you use don't have to, the meaning is a little bit different. Volunteer for reading, please.
Use don't
Use-
have to. Sorry.
Sorry.
Oh,
Okay,
Rocío.
Jose, continue because
Oh,
I haven't heard you.
Okay. Use don't have to say that you can do something if you want to, but it's not necessary to do it. You can choose.
So you see the difference? With mustn't, it's like very important that you don't do an action. But if you use don't have to, it's just to specify that the action is not necessary to be done. At the end, if you want to, you can do it or not. For example, you don't have to add sugar to your tea, but at the end, it's optional. If you want to add sugar, do it. If you don't want to, don't do it. But in the previous one, hey, you don't have, oh, you mustn't drive too fast. It's not optional. You don't have to do it. Again, if you say you don't have to watch TV, it's not necessary to watch TV. So at the end, you can decide if you watch it or not. So is it clear the difference between mustn't and haven't to or don't have to? Yes? Clear as horchata?
Yes.
Okay, let's see if you clearly understood the use of these ones. I have these questions, so let's see. What obligations do you have at work? You can use must or have to. What obligations do you have at work?
I have to finish my external audit report today.
Very good. It's optional.
No.
It's an obligation. Very
Yeah.
good. Who else? How about you guys? What obligations do you have at work?
I have to finish the performance review of some of my coworkers.
It's optional.
No,
So,
obligation.
so that is the point. When we use must or have to, it's an obligation. You have to do it. It is not optional. Now, well, let's jump to the number 3. What don't you have to do on weekend? Remember, don't have to are things that are not necessary to do.
You don't have to work.
Very good. On weekend, you don't have to work. Now, if you want to do extra period, do it, right? But it's not like an obligation. Very good. What else?
I don't have to wake up early.
Very good. You don't have to wake up early. Now, if you want to, I mean, do it, right? But it's optional. Now, let's see the difference. Can you tell me some activities that you mustn't do at work? I forgot the verb here, I'm sorry. Mustn't do at work.
You mustn't smoke in the office.
Very good. So you mustn't smoke. So, but if I want to, can I do it? It's optional?
No.
No.
Never. So this is an obligation, is a rule that you cannot break. That is the difference. If you see, don't have to is like, optional, but mustn't is not optional, it's a rule. What else? What is another thing that you mustn't do at work?
You must not drink alcohol.
Very good. So imagine that's a rule. It's not optional. So is it clear the difference between mustn't and don't have to?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Very good. Okay, that is about must and have to. Any questions about those two options? No? Is it clear?
Clear.
Okay, very good. Okay, let's move on to the next one. Let's see and change. We are not going to continue talking about obligations. Now we are going to talk about advice. And this is one of the most commons. If you want to give advice, you can use should, that is the most common one, or ought to. Ought to is the same meaning of should. However, ought to is not so frequent, right? It's not so common, but the meaning is exactly the same. Okay? A volunteer for reading the first example, please.
You should, oh, sorry.
Sorry.
Okay, who's going to read? Michelle? Michelle and the other one, Fernando, please.
Okay. You should arrive early to get a seat.
Thank you. Look, should. And what happens with the verb? Is always in the basic form. Very good. If you want, instead of should, you can say ought to. You ought to arrive early. Okay? Fernando, can you read the second example, please?
She ought to see a dentist about her tooth.
Thank you. We can use them in third person and they don't change. Okay? She ought to see a dentist or she should see a dentist. Now, we can use them in negative too. What is the negative form of should?
Or should not.
Exactly. You just need to add the word not. So should not or shouldn't. What is the negative form of ought to? What do you think? Do you remember?
I don't know, maybe not ought to.
Almost. The word not will be in the middle. Ought not to. For example, I can say, well, let's pick the same examples. She ought not to arrive early, ta, 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 ta. Okay? So ought not to. However, everyone, to be honest with you, we don't usually use ought to in negative. And in question is even weirder. So ought to is more just for affirmative sentences. But if you want to use it in negative, just remember ought, not, and then the preposition to. So is it clear? The negative form of ought to? Yes?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. If you see, these words are kind of simple. They don't have like more explanations. It's just if you want to give advice. And another one that you can use if you want to use advice is had better. Have you ever seen this one? Had better?
Yes.
Yes. Had better is the same. Okay, you can give advice using had better, but look, always is had. You can never say have, you can never change it. If it is third person, you cannot say has. No, it's always had. And after better, I will need the verb. Look, what is the form of the verb? It's in the basic form. No changes, it's not in past, it's not in infinitive. I don't need the preposition to. So what would be the first example? Volunteer for reading, please.
You had better save money for the future.
Thank you. So is that an obligation? It sounds
No.
like an obligation? Not really, right? This is
No.
advice if you want to, right? So you had better save money. The most common one when we use this one is to use it in contraction form. You'd, she'd, we'd. Okay? Volunteer for reading the second example, please.
She'd better eat healthy food.
That is the one. She'd better. So if you use contraction, that is the most common way to do it. We can also use it in negative form. If you want to use it negative form, you can say you'd better, and after you'd better, we are going to add not. You'd better not tell Elizabeth about the car. You'd better not forget to send the audio for the speaking evaluation. Okay? You'd better not forget to work on the platform. So you can use it in negative too. So the difference is that you are going to add the word not after the you'd better phrase. Clear? Yes?
Yes.
Okay, let's see some questions so you can practice the structure. What should I do if I want to be healthy? You can use should, ought to, or had better. Go ahead.
You should do more exercise.
Very good. That's a good sentence. You should do more exercise. How can I say the same sentence with ought to? What do you think?
You ought to more. Yeah, right now. You ought to do more exercise.
Yes, you ought to do more exercise. If I want to use had better, the same sentence with had better?
Yes, you had better do more exercise.
Perfect. So you see, you can use the three options to give the same advice. What else? What else can I do if I want to be healthy, guys?
You should eat more vegetables.
Very good. What else?
You better not eat fast food.
I'm sorry, can you repeat?
You better not eat fast food.
Very good. You'd better not. Excellent. Now, imagine that a woman is pregnant. What activities she should do or which one she shouldn't do? You can use should, ought not to, or you'd better not.
You better not drink alcohol.
Very good. What else? I like the sentence that your classmate said. Let's change it in third person. She'd better not drink alcohol. If you see, we can use it in third person and there's many changes. It's just the same. You can say she'd or you and it's going to be exactly the same. What else? If a girl is pregnant, tell me the activities that she should or shouldn't do. Uh-huh. What else? What else?
She'd better take her vitamins.
Vitamins?
Vitamins.
Very good. Yes, definitely. Now, those are the scenarios if you want to give advice. Clear? Yes?
Yes.
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 All right. Give advice is easy. So let's see if you remember. If I'm going to talk about obligations, which one can I use?
Must.
Have, must and
Up
have.
to.
Must and have.
Mustn't or
Up to.
have to.
Have to.
Great job. So what is the difference between mustn't and don't have to?
Mustn't is for obligations or yeah, obligation, and don't have to is when you can choose do or don't
Exactly.
something.
Very good. It's optional. At the end, you can choose if you do it or not. Great job. And which words can I use for advice?
Should and ought to and
Better.
Had better. Very
yeah,
good. Excellent. All right, that's the one. What is the negative form for should?
shouldn't.
Student.
Negative for ought to?
Ought not to.
Very good. And the negative for had better?
Had better not.
Excellent. That's the one. Okay, let's move on. Now we have need to. Need to is to express necessity. It's not an obligation. It's not advice. It's about necessity. Volunteer for reading the first example, please.
I need to go to the doctor.
Very good. Is that an obligation?
It's not obligation, but it's necessary.
Exactly. Imagine if you have a terrible headache. I mean, you are suffering, you are not good. So it's a necessity that you do that action. At the contrary, you won't be all right. Okay? What else? What happens if it is in third person? Volunteer for reading. Second example, please.
She
She
needs
needs
to study for the test.
Very good. So look, with the other modals like must, should, we don't change if it is third person. But in the case of need, what happens? Do I need changes? Look, I need to add the letter S. She needs, because it's third person. She needs to study for the test, okay? You need to wake up early. You need to do exercise. What happens if I want to say it in negative? What do I need? Volunteer for reading the third example?
You don't need to worry about it.
Excellent. If you want to say it in negative, you just need to add the auxiliary. You don't need to worry. If I want to say it negative in third person, what do I need to do?
You don't need to worry about it.
Exactly. You don't need to worry about it. If it is third person, she doesn't need to worry about it. Now, look at some questions. Let's see. What do you need to do to improve your English? Go ahead. Give me examples.
You need to talk a lot.
Very good. You need to talk a lot. Yes.
You need to practice your English.
You need to practice your English. Mm-hmm.
To be open to corrections.
Ah, very good. Now, second question. Let's think about third person. What does she need to do if she wants to lose weight?
She needs to eat healthy.
Very good. She needs. What else?
She needs to eat less fast food.
Very good. You can say sentences in negative too. She doesn't need to, or another ones. What else? If she wants to lose weight,
She needs to eat more healthy food.
she needs to eat more healthy food. Definitely.
She doesn't need to lose weight because she's fine.
Ah, nice. That's good. So this is the way that we can use those of the most common one. Okay, they are not the only ones, but they are like the most common. Is it clear? Yes?
Yes.
Yes.
Any questions so far?
No, no for now.
Ready for an exam?
Yes.
Okay, I need a volunteer. Who wants to start? Only one, please.
Me.
Thank you, Paola. So, guys, Paola is the new teacher. Which model do you want her to explain? Must, have to, should, ought to, had better, or need to?
Mm,
Pick one.
Must.
Must. Thank you. Okay, Paola, explain us. How can I use must?
Okay. Must is a modal verb. You you can use it when you want to explain an obligation. For example, you must to go to work today.
Okay. Nice. So, Paola, you can pick someone, please.
Robert.
I'm sorry?
Robert.
I guess.
Ah, Robert. I'm sorry, I
Yeah,
couldn't.
Robert.
Yeah, Robert. Okay, guys, which model will Robert explain?
Easy one, please.
An easy one, out to.
Thank you. Okay, go ahead.
The most common modal verb.
Okay.
She said add to, so explain us
Yeah.
add to.
You can use out to like when you want to make an advice, something that is not necessary, and it's not that common to use. You can use like should. One example could be she ought to eat more.
Okay, she ought to sleep more. Sounds good. Can I use it in negative?
No, it's not. I don't remember. It's not necessary. It's not that common.
Okay, what do you think, guys? Can I use add to in negative or not?
Yes, of course,
Yes.
but it's
Yes,
a
you
little
can,
but
but
different.
it's
not
not
common.
common.
Aha, you can, of course, but it's not that common. So, Robert, can you give me an example in negative?
You are not to go to, I don't know, the beach because it's
Ve-
so hot.
Yeah, that's the one. Exactly. If you want to say it in negative, guys, you just need to say at not to. Very good. Robert, pick someone.
Fernando.
Okay, hello, Fernando. Okay, guys, which one will Fernando explain?
Should.
Should. Okay, Fernando, go ahead.
Well, as Robert was saying, should is basically the same. Is for giving advice for something or a recommendation for the other people. An example could be you should wake up early because you will feel healthy if you do it.
Okay. So, very good. Sounds good. Can I use it in third person?
Yeah, I think she, it can be like he should do, and you can add a compliment.
Great, sounds good. Fernando, pick someone.
Rocio.
Okay, Rocio. Guys, which one will Rocio explain?
Don't have to.
Which one? Don't have to.
Yeah.
Okay, Rocio, don't have to. What is it?
Don't have to is used when I can choose something. When use only have to is an obligation, but if I use don't have to, I can choose if I want to do it or not. Maybe I don't have to go to my parent house this weekend. Very good. And if it is in third person? Yeah, and she had to. She had to.
Always,
She
always
hadn't.
in negative. Always in negative
Okay.
in third person.
She hadn't. She hasn't. To.
Are you sure?
She. No, right now. No, she had not to go with her friends. I'm not sure.
Okay. You said that you don't have to go da 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 da.
She does.
Aha.
She doesn't have to with her friends.
That is the one. Excellent. So guys, remember, if it is in third person, just change the auxiliary doesn't. Okay? Rocío, Salvador or Michelle?
Salvador.
Okay, guys, which one will Salvador explain? Well, actually, we don't have like more options. You can choose between had better
Had better.
or need. Okay, had better. Salvador, explain me
Okay.
had better.
Had better is used for an advice, which means you could do that or not. And the way to use it is you had better drink water in the morning.
And if it is
So
in negative?
you had better not drink water in the morning.
That's it. Simple as that. Do I need changes if it is third person?
No, you don't.
It's the same.
It's the same.
Great.
Yeah.
Excellent. Okay, and the last one, Michelle. Well, need to.
Necessity. Yeah. We use need to when we want to express some necessities. And an important fact here is when we use third person, we need to add S to the verb.
That is the one. Excellent. Pretty good job. Okay, we have a couple of minutes. We are going to practice some questions. I know that we don't have a lot of time, but let's do it. I'm going to send some questions on WhatsApp's group. Okay. Because we don't have a lot of time, there will be only 4 questions. Can you see that? I already sent them. Yes?
Yes.
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 Okay, the idea is try to give as many details as possible, not only one sentence. For example, if I say, what rules do we have in El Salvador? You mustn't drive so fast. That's it. No, try to give me a bit more, okay? Let's go to practice. We only have a couple of minutes, so do your best and try to use affirmative and negative forms, okay? Let's go.
Well, we have 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Well, the first question is, what had I better do if I want a better future? I was thinking, and if you have a better future, you have to learn a lot of things about Excel because at the work is necessary, and also you had better learn English because also it is necessary too, and you had better well you had better save money.
Yeah, I think that that was great. You had better to learn about culture because it's important to expand your knowledge.
Okay.
You had better study a lot. In this case, you have to specialize in whatever you are doing or working.
Okay. Nice.
You have better I don't know.
Okay, I have a question. Can I say you had better to?
Oh no, because you had better is an advice, right? Yeah.
Yes. So don't add the preposition to. You had better do, you had better learn. But if you say you had better to learn, no, right? Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So you
Better to.
Yeah, you have better travel to learn culture about another countries or people. Yeah.
Yeah.
The next question is, what don't you have to do on after the class? Don't have to do. Okay. I think we don't have to sleep after the class. Or yeah, sounds very sounds very good, but I think we can. But yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm not pretty sure about your schedule at work, but I think you don't have to connect immediately after the class to the work.
I must connect
Really?
because yeah, my schedule is 8 to 5,
Yeah.
8 to 6. So I must.
You must, yes. This is not an
Yeah.
option for you.
Yeah, it's not an option for me because I start at 8.
Okay, well, it's okay. So you have to do that. You
Yeah.
must do that.
Yeah, I
So
have to
you
do
do
like
that.
that. Yeah.
Examples.
Okay. So yeah, as you said, you don't have to go to the bar and drink alcohol. Well, I guess we covered this. Let's move to the next one. What chores do you need to do at home? What chores needs?
It's like homework.
Chores.
Chores is like homework.
Homework.
Yeah, or activities.
Well, you
Chores,
need
yeah, chores is like homeworks, but at home. When we are talking about the activities that you need to do at home, like
cleaning.
yes, do the dishes, do laundry, things like that.
Okay, got it. I didn't know that. That's new for me. Make a note.
In my case, I need to clean my office because I work from home. On the weekend, I need to get the dishes clean. I need to get off the trash to the recycle bin. And I need to relax because my body needs.
Okay, time's up. Let's go back to the main room. Time's up. Okay, some of the students are in the breaking rooms. Yeah, let's see. Let's wait for them. All right, time's up, everybody. All right, very good job. You are talking a lot. Unfortunately, we don't have more time. So everybody, we are going to stop here. Could you answer all the questions?
Yes.
Yes.
Excellent.
Yes.
Okay, so guys, we don't have more time. Thank you so much for being in the class. Don't forget to speak in evaluation, okay?
Okay.
Very
Yes.
good. Have a
Thank-
beautiful weekend, guys. If you have a question, you can send it on WhatsApp and I will help you, okay?
Okay.
Very
you.
good.
Okay, thank you.
Goodbye. Have a nice
Take care, teacher.
weekend. See you on Monday.